What is up, beautiful people? Today we're going to be talking about another universal law of the universe, the law of vibration. So, last week's episode, or I guess just last episode, we talked about the law of divine oneness. If you guys missed out on that, I'd highly encourage you to check out that podcast episode. Knowing all these universal laws will just help you understand and navigate through this life with ease. You'll be an enlightened individual, and I really hope that the way I perceive these laws and teach it out throughout these podcasts really help you out. If you guys have any questions, please leave it in the comment section below. But I am very grateful to have you guys once again on this podcast episode. So let's start to dive right into the law of vibration. So, the law of vibration, have you ever heard a song that you just resonated with so nicely? Like it just really struck a chord with you, and you're like, "Fuck, I freaking love that song." Something that like actually like made me feel a certain type of way, and you started to like cry, or just like really emotionally resonate with that song. Or have you ever had like a gut feeling that you're just like something feels off in this situation, or something feels right in this situation? Just are you very in tune with your gut feeling? All these tie into the law of vibration. And with the law of vibration, it states that every single thing in this universe vibrates. So, from the smallest atom to the biggest galaxy, there's vibration in place. And it took me a second to really like understand this concept, but one thing that I really like and I start to love to like look back to is how in school we were taught that everything moves, everything vibrates when you have solids, gases, and liquids. All the atoms, all the particles that make up this matter, it vibrates. So like gases, you see that the particles are they move very freely. Liquids, they move freely, but not as freely as the gases. And with solids, the particles they're all jam packed together. Like let's take this freaking little group for an example. I'm holding a group for the people listening in the podcast episode. But all the solids, even though they're so compact within this, they are all vibrating. Even his head is kind of vibrating. It's like a bobblehead. But all the things are vibrating. So you might have heard that term vibes. Vibes is nothing new, it's always been around. Everything is vibrating at a certain frequency. And so now that we understand that everything around us is vibrating, like this chair that I'm sitting on, this mic I'm talking into, let's talk about you as a person. We're a solid, as we so seem. Like, yes, we're solid, but we're also energy. We are energy that vibrates. Everything within us is vibrating. Because if the smallest atoms are vibrating, if the solids in this world are vibrating, if the biggest galaxies are vibrating, we got to be vibrating too. If everything around us that we perceive has a vibrational energy to it, that doesn't discount us too. So us as human beings, we vibrate at a certain frequency. And so not only it's just us in the physical form that vibrates at a frequency, but also our thoughts and our feelings. Those things also emit and vibrate at a certain frequency. And we're going to be talking about that a little bit more in detail when we go over the map of consciousness by David R. Hawkins. We'll talk about that in just a second. But think about it. Your thoughts, they harbor your emotions. And when you start to think something and you have that vibrational charge of an emotion happening as well, you start to take action to whatever you do moving forward. Like your thought is the power of the thought so powerful. Because when you think something, you feel something, and then you start to take action. Like for me, I had the thought of making this podcast episode. I felt good about it. So therefore I took action to make this podcast episode. Like that's how powerful our thoughts are. Our thoughts can drive us to do so many crazy things. And so let's talk about the map of consciousness. I actually have it right here. I'm going to bring it up on, if you're watching the video podcast, check it out. If not, if you're just like on the podcast episode, go look at the map of consciousness by David R. Hawkins. And so let me move over here. I hope you guys can still hear me. But over here is the map of consciousness that I have pulled up. And you have a whole scale of emotions within this map. At the bottom, let me read that for you. At the bottom, you have guilt, or okay, the very bottom, you have shame, guilt, apathy, grief, fear, desire, anger, pride. So that's like the bottom half of this consciousness, this map of consciousness that we have. And if you see it on it, it says those emotions that I just listed out, those are all living in the survival paradigm. So if you are feeling those emotions, you are most likely operating in a state of survival. Now, moving up, we're going to go to the next set, which is going to be living under reason and integrity. So we got courage, neutrality, willingness, acceptance, and reason. And so that's more on the mid side of this scale of consciousness. And on the higher end, which is the spiritual paradigm where you're living a more in tune with the universe, your vibrations like just naturally high. You're up here. You have love, joy, peace, and enlightenment. And so all these feelings that I listed out, you go from the survival paradigm to the spiritual paradigm. You, since we just talked about how our thoughts and emotions emit a frequency, this map of consciousness that we have right here, we're able to identify where we lie within this map of consciousness vibrationally with our own energy, depending on how you feel. That's why I believe feelings are very important in this life. A lot of people like to discount our feelings. We grew up, especially as males, to look away from our own emotions, our own feelings, and not necessarily feel them. It's macho, very freaking macho to not cry or to not show your emotions. And like, I get it, but I think there's power in vulnerability, and there is power in identifying and knowing your own emotions. And when you can identify and know your own emotions, you don't have to act on your own emotions. But it's very important, and I think that's where a lot of people get messed up, is when you act on your own emotions. I think it's important to feel your emotions, but you don't have to necessarily act on your own emotions. And I also think it's very important to communicate your own emotions with the right people. But you're able to identify your energetic level, your vibration within this scale. And so like, let's say you're feeling shameful, you're feeling shame, you are in the survival paradigm, you are down so far down on this list. And hold on, you're living in survival. So, and the beautiful part too about living in the, like, if you're feeling shame, if you are aware of this vibrational chart, this map of consciousness, and you're just aware that you're feeling that and you're in that frequency, you have the opportunity to raise your vibration, because honestly the only way is up from there. And like, might as well just go balls to the wall and try feeling something else. And I think it's very important to know that, like, we have the opportunity to change our vibration at any given point of time, and we'll talk about that a little bit more. And so to further illustrate this, your emotions come from your thoughts. We just talked about that. And you can have, let's say we have two different people, they can be in the same situation and see it in so, like, have a different perspective on that just because of their thought over the entire situation that happened. Here, let me take off this scale real quick. And so, like, a perfect example is when David Grohl from Nirvana, the drummer from Nirvana, also Foo Fighters lead singer, David Grohl, he said that you can write a song, or you can be singing a song to 85,000 people, and those same 85,000 people will be singing that song in 85,000 different ways. And I thought, when I heard that, that was very powerful. And like, that just shows that, like, people have a different perspective on whatever situation they're in. So like, with that song that he sings, some person could be feeling very happy from that song. It could be a song that puts them highly on that vibrational level, while that same song can make a person feel very sad because they have a thought that it reminds them of, like, their ex or something, and it can change, their perspective changes, and it lowers them on that vibrational scale. And so now their vibe is kind of low. Another great example, and this is like, I think it's so beautiful because when I learned about this, I thought it was just freaking insane. But Hey Ya, the song Hey Ya by Outkast, a lot of people think it's such a happy song. And that's okay. That's like, it's great. I thought it was a freaking happy song, and it's because it's paired to a very great dance beat. For a long time, I never really understood. I guess it's kind of sad to say, but like music, I never really looked deeply into the lyrics. I was mostly a beats person. I would always hear the beats first before I heard the lyrics and understood the lyrics. Now, especially me being like a singer songwriter, I look more deeply into the meaning of songs, the lyrics. I resonate more with that, and it's like really interesting to what people say. But within that song Hey Ya, that's actually Andre 3000 talking about the deeper meaning of relationships in modern day life, like how modern day relationships are in modern day life. And it's very sad. It's a very sad song, and it's crazy too because he even says, what is it? Y'all don't want to hear me, you just want to dance. Like, he literally says that in the song, and I feel like it just goes over a lot of our heads if we're not really tuned into the meaning of it, because we're just like, we're in the trance of the dance beat that it has going on in the back. And I think that's just like a very good testament or a very good example of how we can have different perceptions, and one person's vibe is super high within a situation while the other person's vibe is super low in that same situation. It all comes from our perspective, it all comes from our thoughts. So back then my thoughts were just on the dance beat and having a great time on the dance beat. But now, since I shifted my thoughts and started to look into the lyrics more and understand the lyrics more, I see the sadder meaning to the song, and it's kind of crazy. It kind of sucks to like listen to that song. I love that song, but just like knowing that it's like that much sadder, it just like it hits different. So if you knew about that about the song, let me know in the comment section because that'd be really cool. But yeah, everything vibrates at a certain frequency, and whatever your thoughts are, whatever you perceive, you will attune to that. And so, real quick before we continue on, I'm going to announce the sponsorship of this video. This video is actually sponsored by you, the people. I am doing this all by myself, and I would really like it if you really like resonate with this content that I'm producing. It would really help me out if you guys would like to help me out. So I started up a Ko-fi. If you guys want to support, we're gonna have a private Discord community of, yeah, spiritual explorers out here. We're gonna all get together in a private Discord community. We can talk our thoughts. We can all support each other, be there together, and you will get early access to these podcast episodes and like blog posts that I have, even my music. It's gonna be like my whole brand and all, which I make music, if you guys don't know. So it'll help me further my journey within this space. And every donation helps. A little goes a long way. I usually go to coffee shops and work on these podcast episodes, work on the blog posts, with a chai tea. So if you would like to buy me a chai tea, that would really be much appreciated. It's kind of eating at me now. But I really like working over there at coffee shops. So check it out. All the stuff that is invested within the Ko-fi will be invested back into this whole podcast situation I have going on. As you can see, one of my goals is to get a new podcasting mic, because this mic that I'm using is pretty terrible. I mean, it's all right. It gets the job done, but like I want to offer you guys the best possible experience. I want to give you guys the best possible content, the quality that I can. So if you guys want to help support me out, go check out Ko-fi, and we're going to get right back into the podcast episode. So we're going to be talking about like attracts like, because the law of vibration is very similar to the law of attraction. And we're going to be talking about the law of attraction, I think, in the next episode or 2 episodes from now. I got to go look back at my schedule. But we're going to be talking about the law of attraction very soon. And so, a quick overview, the law of attraction is like attracts like. What you think about, you bring about, because it goes like very like hand in hand. What you think about, you bring about. We just talked about your thoughts and emotions emit a certain frequency, And when it's like what you think about, you bring about. So if you think about some things, you have the opportunity to attract that object into you. And that's because you are tuning to the same vibrational frequency as whatever you're thinking and feeling. And that's why, if you've ever heard of the secret is the feeling. That's why if you understand your emotions and you feel your emotions, you can manifest things a lot better because it's all on a vibrational scale. And so when you start to send out positivity, you start to attract more positivity. We kind of talked about that in the last episode, the law of divine oneness. But you're also tuning yourself to higher levels within that map of consciousness. So when you're tuning yourself to higher vibrations within that map of consciousness, you have the opportunity to, one, align yourself with other objects like this Groot or just anything that is vibrating at that same frequency that you are emitting. So to attract something, you have to be in a vibrational alignment with whatever you're trying to attract, so that thing can come into your space. And this can go for a lot of things. So like bringing that scale, that map of consciousness back up. If you're vibrating at shame, which is at the lowest thing, and you stay there and you're not aware and you're just like in this big victim mentality, you're just surviving, you are going to attract other negative things or other things that are vibrating at the same level of shame into your life as well. So it's very similar to, it's like very similar to the law of attraction. If you're thinking negative thoughts, your vibration is low, and you bring around negative thoughts, you bring around other things that are also vibrating at the same level as you. And so that's why they say think positive thoughts, think better thoughts. It's not just that, but if you start to think better thoughts, you're like upgrading yourself onto a higher level of vibration for you to attract new things in. And let me just talk about this real quick. It's not just about thinking better thoughts per se, because like that, it's like toxic positivity. In my own opinion, if you're just like doing that, you're like gaslighting your own self, and that's not good. I was there myself. Where the magic really lies is shadow work. And shadow work is very important. And the reason why I say that is like, you can think positive thoughts all you want, and you will raise your vibration just a little bit, but you will easily get set back down on your vibration scale because you're essentially like, one, putting a band-aid on it because you have a belief. And so like, let's talk about this a little bit deeper. Your thoughts create your emotions, and your emotions take the action, or you take action after your emotions. So you got your thoughts, your emotion, you can take action. Before your thoughts, we have belief, and before belief, you have your identity. We'll talk about identity maybe in a different podcast episode, but we're going to be talking about beliefs now. So whatever beliefs you have can filter whatever your thoughts are, and whatever your thoughts are filters whatever emotions we feel. And we talked about that with like the music stories. And with the emotions that you feel, you would possibly create action depending on how you feel, if you're able to control your own emotions and be aware of your thinking or not. The action comes after. And so when you have a belief, let's say, this is why I say shadow work is very important, because you might have beliefs that are sitting in your subconscious level that are like coloring your own thoughts. So let's say you grew up with not so supportive people around you, family and friends, and you have this like belief that you were not worthy of, let's say, like having a relationship. Like, let's say you had a partner that just told you were so bad at being a boyfriend or girlfriend, and just it was just so toxic for you. But you now are walking around this world with this belief subconsciously that you don't feel worthy of attracting a relationship. And so now you don't know this belief is there, but it's there. It's hidden in your subconscious. Your subconscious is what drives, like, they say 95% of your entire life. I don't know. It drives a lot of your entire life if you're not aware of what's going on in your subconscious. And so you operate, let's say you're trying to get a girlfriend or boyfriend now, and you have that belief sitting below you, under you, that you are not worthy. And so you're trying to attract somebody within your relationship. Like you're trying to attract somebody for your relationship. And since you have that belief sitting under, that's like that's like feelings of shame and guilt. Like you're in that survival paradigm already. Like you're naturally vibrating at that level. And so you're going to attract another partner within that same level of shame and guilt. Like you can think that you're going to be having like the perfect great relationship, and you can go out searching outside of yourself, which is not good, but outside of yourself for another partner, or just trying to attract another partner into your life. If you didn't do the shadow work, because when you do the shadow work, you uncover the stuff that is sitting in the subconscious. So if you did shadow work, you would understand that you had that belief that you are not worthy, and you're able to work on that belief and rewrite a new story. And so then you naturally raise your vibration within the scale of consciousness. Let's say you go from shame all the way up to love and joy. So you're more in that spiritual paradigm. You are vibrating at a better, higher frequency. Now you have the opportunity to attract another partner that is also operating at that same level of frequency. And that will be a better suited relationship for you. I myself in the past have attracted some bad relationships because I deep down didn't believe I was worthy of having a good relationship. I was always seeking validation outside of myself. And that's why I got what I did. And I feel like I can talk about this because I've been through failed relationships. And that's because I didn't necessarily do the work for myself at first. Like I never did the shadow work. And now that I did the shadow work, I'm able to sit in my power, and I know I will attract the right person for me. But since I didn't do the shadow work in the beginning, I was subconsciously feeling like I wasn't worthy, that I needed a relationship, and I started to attract other relationships that were feeling the same way. And it led me to having codependent type relationships, which I don't think was very good, but it was a life lesson for me. It was something I had to learn from. And so that's why I believe shadow work is very important, so you can raise yourself on the vibrational scale, and you can start to attract the people and situations that are meant for you. And I think like that's very important. So let's say going back to that map of consciousness, you have all those different feelings. We have all these emotions within us. Okay? We have the ability to tap into every single one of those emotions at any single time, at any moment of the day for ourselves. That's how much power we hold, which is absolutely beautiful. You can stay in a lower vibration if you want to, or you can go into a higher vibration if you want to. It's all with the thoughts that you're thinking. And like I said, you don't want to just think positive thoughts, because yes, you'll go up there in the vibration, but you'll go all the way back down if you have beliefs that you are not worthy of whatever's going on, or you have negative beliefs about yourself. And so that's why I think it's very important to uncover these beliefs that you have. I also have a meditation that I made. It's on YouTube. It's completely free. Check it out. I made this meditation, and I think this is very important because I do a lot of meditations in the morning. I do 10-minute meditations, guided meditations for myself to naturally raise my vibration. And we'll talk about how to raise your vibration more in just a second. But I do a lot of 10-minute guided meditations. And what kind of spurred me and moved me onto this path was a guided meditation. It was a let go guided meditation. And that was essentially a meditation that was geared towards me letting go of those negative beliefs, uncovering the negative beliefs that I have and letting them go. And I felt like that was the most powerful meditation I have ever done. And that's why I'm so gung ho on everything that I did. I cried when I first did that meditation because like I understood what was holding me back. If you guys don't know, I went through a house fire a long time ago. When I was going to college, I withdrew from college, and it put me on this spiritual path. For a long time, I was operating through life with the subconscious, like in my subconscious, that I wasn't worthy of living my dream life. My life was done after that because I lost everything within the house fire. And so I was operating in a very big state of lack. And once I did that let go guided meditation, I started hearing smoke detectors in my mind, in my head, my ears. And I was like, oh shit, that's it. I'm holding on to this belief that I had about that house fire. And that was something that I myself personally needed to let go of because it was keeping me in a very low vibrational state. I didn't know that at the time, but I just knew it was keeping me down. And so once I started to work up my beliefs and actually do the shadow work within that situation, it started to put me on this path of positivity or enlightenment, just this path where I'm here right now. I'm not depressed. I'm not working a 9 to 5. I'm not working a serving job anymore. I'm living me creatively, artistically, lyrically me. I freaking love it. And it's because I was able to do that work and transmute those negative beliefs I have and turn it into positive, knowing that that situation, that house fire, essentially it didn't happen to me, but it happened for me and it put me on a better path to where I have the tools to transmute the negative situations and turn it to positive. And so, dang, I went off on a tangent. So now going back, I made a let go guided meditation all from scratch. I made a let go guided meditation on my YouTube. I encourage you to check it out and let me know how you guys think about it. I had the intention for it to help you let go and uncover those subconscious beliefs that you have that are sitting down and like bring it up to the surface and just let it go. It has binaural beats baked into it, and so it's targeted at your root chakra. I think it's a very powerful guided meditation to help you uncover your beliefs. So check it out. Let me know what you think because a lot of the meditations that I see out there, yes, they are great meditations because they're like all like peace, love, joy, all the stuff that are on the spiritual paradigm. But we don't have a lot of those meditations that help you uncover those shadow aspects about yourself, those dark, deep beliefs. Because, like I said, it's essentially putting a band aid on if you never do your shadow work and you just pretend that you're up high, positive, toxic love, whatever, because you're going to get bounced back to the low end. You have these lower beliefs fueling you. I hope everything I just said made sense. That was freaking awesome. But let me make sure I have everything that I wanted to talk about throughout that. Check out that guided meditation. And now we're going to be talking about ways to raise your own vibration. Because, like I said, we have all these emotions within us, and we're able to raise our vibration within this chart. It's like it's like a radio station. That's like the best analogy, or a TV show or TV channel, but radio station. It's like a radio station, and you have all these channels, all these different emotions operating, and you can change the channel and tune into a different vibrational frequency so you can align vibrationally with whatever you're trying to attract. Like let's say you want to attract your dream house. Well, your dream house is out there for you. It's just resonating at a different frequency. You might be down here. If you want to resonate with your dream house, you got to start taking the steps to align yourself with that vibrational frequency so you can attract in your dream house, your dream car, your dream relationship, whatever you're trying to attract. That's why it's very important to raise your vibration, because once you know that everything operates on vibration, you are a powerful motherfucker. I don't know what happened with Nikola Tesla. He talked about something about you got to understand the universe with that, like it works in like vibration, frequency, and something else. You can look that up. But once you start understanding these dynamics, you become a powerful motherfucker. I fucking love you. Use your power for good. But to raise your vibration, we already talked about one way, which is meditation. And so you can use meditation to put yourself in a feel good mindset, a feel good area, so you can change and tune your vibration to attract more positivity, more good things into your life. And remember, you can attract negative things into your life, but we're talking about raising your vibration because it's easy to be down here. It's a little bit more challenging to be up here. So meditation, and I encourage you to do meditation every day. Really, if you want the best life, you gotta put yourself first. You gotta take care of yourself. Meditation is a very great way to do that. If you meditate at least like 5 minutes, 10 minutes every day, once you wake up, maybe at night if you want to, but just like once a day, you deserve it. Put yourself first. It's not that hard. It's only as hard as you make it. And it's okay. You might not understand it at first, but with repetition and constant doing, you will get a lot better within your practice. And I feel like I'm yelling at this mic. I don't know. I guess I'm just super passionate right now. But I'm not yelling at you guys, I promise. I just want the best for you. Try meditation. Like I said, I had that meditation. Listen to it for like 21 days. It will definitely change your life. But put yourself first. Do some meditations because when you do meditations, it'll raise your frequency. Another way to raise your frequency is practicing gratitude. When you are practicing gratitude, you're practicing appreciation. And when you start to appreciate everything that's around you, that's putting you you're appreciating. It's putting you in a feel good state. You're raising your vibration because you are okay with everything that's going on around you. You're okay with everything that you have. And when you start to open yourself up to that appreciation, you open up yourself to all the other energies that resonate with appreciation and all the other things that are vibrating up at a higher scale. And it allows you to attract more to yourself. And so that's why I also believe gratitude is great. The attitude is gratitude. Practice gratitude. Be grateful for your air. Be grateful for your food, the roof above your head, the little things. Butterflies. I fucking love butterflies. I love seeing butterflies. I don't even know. Like, they just make me so happy. Fuck yeah, butterflies. Another great thing is connecting with nature. Because when you're connecting with nature, like, you're the nature you're like you can practice mindfulness when you're walking in nature. It's like you're being present in the moment. You're taking in everything that's beautiful around you, like the trees, the birds. You're in another state of appreciation, and also the world vibrates at another frequency. And it's very good for your mental clarity, your mental health when you're outside walking out in nature. Just connect with nature, go ground yourself. It's just a very great act to raise your vibration and stay away from like the busy city life, you know? It's just very great. Another way is journaling. And so like journaling, I put this on here because I see it as like another form of shadow work, especially if you do journaling correctly. Cause like it might not work off the bat at first unless you're like writing a bunch of like happy stuff. Like yeah, you can write down gratitude stuff like that. That's a great thing. Like gratitude journal, gratitude. I'm grateful for this. I'm grateful to have 1,000+ followers on Instagram. So something like that. Just you're grateful. But like why I put journaling there is I see it as another form of great shadow work if you do it correctly. If you keep writing about your life daily in a journal, like everything that's happening to you, your thoughts, your feelings, your vibrations essentially. If you keep writing your stuff into your journal and you be reflective, that was something that I have trouble with journaling. And I still do have trouble with it, is being reflective and looking back at the past journal entries that I have. But it's absolutely amazing because when you start to reflect back on everything that you have written, you stop gaslighting yourself in whatever you're doing, whatever you're trying to achieve. Like you start to see the patterns of everything that's happening, and then you're able to understand and see whatever's going on through your life with those patterns in a different perspective and rewrite the story. I think that's very powerful. You're able to see what's on autopilot, essentially what's going on in your subconscious mind, your deep dark beliefs that are keeping you down there in a lower vibration, and you're able to change that and transmute it for a better and put yourself, raise your own vibration and put you on a higher frequency to attract the greatness, the beautifulness of this life. So that's why I threw journaling up in there. And for the last one to raise your vibration, absolutely most powerful. Okay, I wouldn't say most powerful, but like it's freaking powerful. All these are very powerful. Whatever you choose to do to raise your vibration, do it for you because there's so many different ways that you can do it. It's whatever makes you feel good. And also whatever helps you uncover your subconscious beliefs so you can do your own shadow work. But you got to find out what works for you. For me, it's definitely meditation. It's definitely connecting with nature. Kind of journaling. It's more songwriting for me because that's how I have a fun way of doing and of uncovering my own shadow work. But those are all the things that I like to do. I also do a little bit of gratitude practice here and there when I journal. But the last one is music. Absolutely love music. I think it's great. I listen to music all the time. Be very mindful of the music that you listen to because words are very powerful, and the words that you're listening to and the words that you are engaging with and letting flow into your frequency have a very certain power over you and your vibration. So be very mindful of the artists that you're listening to. I can tell you a lot of the mainstream rap artists, a lot of the just mainstream artists in general are not sending out good vibrations for you to be listening to, but like to each their own, your own cup of tea. Sometimes I do listen to whatever's out there, but you got to be mindful of the information you're taking in. And so that's why a lot of people like to listen to classical music and jazz to raise their vibration, because there's no words that are really happening within those music. It's all about the frequencies and the vibrations that these artists, these musicians are emitting from their instruments and essentially putting it into the music. It's typically like feel good music. And when you're feeling good, you're raising yourself up on the vibration, the vibrational scale. You're going from shame all the way up to joy, love, enlightenment, wherever you resonate within that map of consciousness. Definitely check out that map of consciousness. Be mindful of the music that you're listening to. And like one more thing that we can talk about too within music is sound healing. There's a lot of people that do sound healing. You guys see the people with the like the singing bowls, the sound bowls. They'll start doing, and it starts like going to like it emits a certain frequency. Like you can have like a heart chakra bowl or a root chakra bowl, and these are like all targeted to emit certain frequencies to hit certain areas within your psyche and help you heal. Sound healing is big. And like I did see something about this, about like, I don't know if you're like big on like the whole like hallucinating DMT stuff, but I saw that shamans found a way to do this a long time ago to like induce a am I saying that right? A hallucination through drumming, shamanic drumming. That is like one of the most powerful primal ways that shamans would introduce hallucinations into others, is through shamanic drumming. That repetitive drumming pattern can be very powerful. Anywho, music's very powerful, and all these things that I just shared with you, meditation, music, gratitude, connecting with nature, journaling, these are all things that will help you raise your vibrations. These are things that helped me raise my own vibration. And there's many more things that can raise your vibration, like longboard dancing. For me, it puts me in such a feel good mood. It puts me in my body. I'm so happy. I'm dancing. Movement's medicine. It makes me feel good. It raises my vibration. So whatever activities you love to do, do it. Why spend much time doing things that you hate to do? Because like we just talked about, everything's vibration, like everything's on a vibrational scale. If you're doing stuff that you hate a lot, because like there's stuff that we're gonna have to do that just, it's inevitable, we have to do it. But if you constantly do stuff that puts that puts you down, you're vibrating at a negative frequency, and you're going to be attracting more things at a negative frequency. So why not just focus on feeling good? I think that's why it's important to connect with our feelings, connect with our emotions, and know our emotions and identify with our emotions. Because a lot of the time, like I said, we've been told not to focus on our emotions. We've been told not to just be in tune with our emotions. And I think that's the disconnect that we're having. Why do we have emotions? I think God gave it to us. The universe gave it to us for a good reason. And I also believe that knowing your emotions is the best way to navigate through this entire life that we have. Follow your emotions, follow your heart. That's so powerful advice. It might sound corny, but follow your heart, follow what feels good, follow what you want to do. Because when you start following your heart, you're following the positive vibrations, you're raising your vibration, you're raising your stuff, and when you're vibrating at a high level, you're attracting all the good stuff in. So that's everything that I have for today. We talked about the law of vibration. Everything in this world vibrates, like this P. Terry's cup vibrates. All this stuff around me in my room vibrates at the same frequency that I vibrated at when I attracted it into my life. So I just want you to ponder on that idea, challenge my thinking, adopt some thinkings for yourself, see if what I said resonated with you, because this podcast episode vibrationally aligns with you somehow, shape, or form, because you're listening to it. I really do appreciate you listening to this podcast episode. I hope my audio vibrations touch you in a great way. That sounds kind of nasty. I hope my whatever, you're picking up what I'm putting down. I hope this strikes a chord with you, if it makes sense. If not, just challenge my thinking. Think for yourself. Not tomorrow. Why do I always say that? Anyways, we're going to be talking about another universal law in the next podcast episode. Stay tuned. Check out my Ko-fi if you guys want to support me. It would be very helpful. I'm trying to save up for a new mic. I'm trying to get some more chai tea so I can work more on these blog posts, because currently I love going to coffee shops and working on these blog posts. If I keep working at home, it's hard for me to, I guess, stay motivated. When I'm at a coffee shop, I'm like in the freaking zone. Anyways, I really gotta pee, so I'm gonna go use the restroom. But I really appreciate you listening to this episode. If you guys have any comments, leave it in the comment section below. I felt like I was very passionate about this episode because I was talking a lot fast, or it could just be me needing to go pee. But hasta la pasta.